Welcome back to more Pikmin 2. Last time, we completed the first 5 challenges, so this time, we're starting out with the hothouse. So obviously, we only have 3 Pikmin, but they do give you Queen Candy Pop Buds to get more. I did not mean to throw the red Pikmin into that one, so we'll throw the yellow Pikmin into that one. Reminder, you can use the captains to attack. It's obviously very slow, but it is an option in an emergency, and we might have to actually try that, depending on what enemy is on the upcoming floors. I also only saw... Shoot, that's bad. Olimar started automatically running over here to get the yellow Pikmin. I was trying to throw, so that was almost a disaster. So now that we don't have just, 3 of each, we'll also toss a blue into this other Candy Pop Bud I just noticed. I definitely messed up the timing on the one, and we definitely can't afford to mess up this timing. I say as I completely mess up the throw and not the timing. The timing was great, it's just I completely missed the throw. Try that. In the meantime, let's have Olimar and Louie head over here, defeat the Snowball Borb, and try to get the key back to the research pod. Looks like we have a little over 70 seconds left, so we should have enough time. I'm trying to gauge if these are actually real seconds or not. They feel kind of slow, actually. A hole that continues deeper underground has opened. Journey deeper for more treasures. We also still have a fair amount of time, so I am going to stop and quickly try to get some nectar over here, because, yeah, having just leaf Pikmin for this is not entirely promising for the rest of this. But again, like we saw on the previous floor, you can still get bitter sprays and spicy sprays from the eggs, so look out for those as well. One thing I was just thinking about is I'm pretty sure I completely skipped, or at least didn't show much of challenge mode in my original playthrough. I'm pretty sure I might have only shown off like a couple of levels, then called it there. So yeah, I guess this is actually the first time I've done challenge mode in a Let's Play, which actually is kind of cool, but also very terrifying because again, it's not like I go through challenge mode like on a regular basis, so I am a little bit concerned with how some of these floors are going to go, especially the later ones that I remember being like extraordinarily difficult to get through without losing any Pikmin. Like in the main playthrough, I will reset if I have to, and leave out any failed attempts just for the sake of time. But yeah, I am very curious to see how well or poorly this is going to go. I was thinking about it, and I think red Pikmin are still the strongest non-purple types in terms of fighting. Like, I do feel like the red Pikmin got through their fight a lot easier than the blue Pikmin, which is why I brought over the red Pikmin after a while, just to speed this up since we have under 100 seconds now. Look, the ground is cracked, indicating an inactive geyser. Have your Pikmin dig here. I was really expecting that text to only play during our first our first run of a challenge mode stage. I wasn't expecting it to play after every floor. At some point, I might actually start skipping the cutscene. Up to this point, I actually haven't been skipping cutscenes, but if we don't, we will be seeing that a lot. And from 3 Pikmin to 27 Pikmin, we have yet another perfect run. Our next challenge is the Brawny Abyss. Honestly, I'm actually trying to remember if any of the floors are in darkness. So far, it feels like all of them are basically acting like the Stellar Orb was collected, which is, in my opinion, very nice. So we don't have to, like, go around in the dark entirely. Fighting a cannon beetle with blue Pikmin is not my favorite thing in the world, but we'll see how this goes. My advice would be to at least be very cautious compared to fighting it with a purple Pikmin group. Like, I'm deliberately calling Pikmin off of it as it's about to throw them off, so they don't go flying, and then I have to, like, frantically whistle them as the boulder's about to, like, go over them. So yeah, I am definitely taking my time with this fight. I'm probably being way more cautious than I really need to be, but again, when you're trying to go for perfect runs, I recommend not taking too many risks. I also don't know if this fiery blowhog will be in the way. We'll deal with the snowball bulb first. I'm also going to try to get it to face over here, so it won't chuck any Pikmin off the ledge. There we go. I also recommend maybe calling Pikmin a little bit faster than that, just so no Pikmin die from fire. Yeah, there's a lot over there, but again, if we're just worried about the key, it being right there is actually pretty convenient. A hole that continues deeper underground has opened, journey deeper for more treasures. Alright, that's actually also very close by. Again, I'm dismissing Pikmin so I don't accidentally throw any when trying to use the A button here. So now we have a decorated cannon beetle. Let's actually use the bitter spray since we have one, to just speed this up. Again, it's actually nice when they give you enough, like, bitter sprays to just clear out a floor really quickly like this. Look, the ground is cracked, indicating an inactive geyser. Have your Pikmin dig here. To tell the truth, it's actually been so long since I've played Challenge Mode. Also, that was on GameCube to put things in perspective. That's why there are no best scores. I actually don't remember how randomized these can get. Like, how much these can randomize compared to the main sub-levels. Like, if these are more fixed, or can still be very, like, inconsistent in, like, you know, quality of enemy placement, like in the main game. I'm actually kind of surprised it's been going this smoothly, to be honest, but I'm afraid to say it because of jinxing. So our next challenge is the Red Chasm. We have to take a bit of a gamble here, it looks like. We have a ton of bulb orbs. But the problem is, which one actually has the key? We don't know. Also, to my recollection, dwarf bulb orbs can't call for the adult bulb orb anymore. Like, that was something they could do in Pikmin 1. That was terrifying in the middle of a fight if it woke up the adult bulb orb. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't do that anymore, which definitely makes things a lot safer. Alright, that's a gem. All these treasures are from the base game, by the way. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that one of the treasures in a challenge floor is actually from, like, the PAL region. Like, one of the treasures that was actually different between versions. So it did manage to sneak into this version, even though it wasn't, like, part of the main game. Alright, so that actually was pretty fast. It only took 2 fights for that. Look, the ground has cracked, indicating an inactive geyser. Have your Pikmin dig here. I actually noticed something interesting. Briefly, when I panned the camera, you could actually see the geyser partially loaded in underground. So yeah, it is actually permanently loaded in. It's just a matter of actually, like, locating it on in floors where you can't, like, use camera trickery. Also, using bitter sprays does destroy the enemy outright. So if you are concerned about high score and collecting all the enemies, you actually might want to not use bitter sprays as much as I am. But again, I'm more using it for, like, self-preservation and making these floors easier rather than trying to get a high score. But again, you might want to actually leave the enemies in one piece so you can actually, you know, more easily raise your Poco total. Alright, so another 5,000 points, roughly. It does feel like I'm trying to figure out how, like, score is calculated. I don't think it's based on Pocos, because I don't think we actually collected that many treasures. It must be, like, multiplying your Poco count or something. Looks like our next challenge is the Trampled Garden. I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of amazed that with all of this nonsense on this floor, the treasure's right out in the open. I thought one of, like, the Withering Blowhogs would have it, but no, it's just sitting right there. So we'll clear a path. This is another one-floor cavern or challenge stage, so obviously the gimmick of this is, like, trying to simply collect everything really fast. And apparently there's also buried stuff too, so there's no treasure radar, so I feel like finding buried treasure would be a nightmare. Look, the ground is cracked, indicating an inactive geyser. Have your Pikmin dig here. Alright, where is the exit? It must actually be here. Yep, there it is. So we'll round up the Pikmin. Again, we might as well carry some things back while we're waiting. But yeah, it'd actually be pretty challenging. I wonder if anyone has actually done, like, in addition to, like, the perfect run in terms of keeping all Pikmin alive, I wonder if anyone has actually done, like, perfect runs of collecting everything on the floor and keeping all Pikmin alive. That would actually be really impressive, to be honest. So I paid more attention, and it looks like the amount earned and Pikmin are actually multiplied by 10 for your score, so that's why we got like 12,630 points, because we got roughly 1,200 Pokos worth of treasure. And our final challenge for row 2 is the Twilight Garden. This was the first challenge. I actually had to reset, and it's very obvious why. We have to fight a beady Longlegs, with only yellow Pikmin. They give you 50. I do not recommend fighting it with all 50, because that is way too many Pikmin to keep track of in a very narrow arena. Like, you know, fighting a beady Longlegs in, like, an open space isn't the worst thing. Fighting it in this very narrow, like, path, that's kind of scary. So yeah, I'm being very cautious. Again, this is like my third attempt, so yeah, trying not to take too many chances. One more cycle where I land a lot of Pikmin should be enough to finish it off. But it's just a matter of, yep, there we go. Much better. And now we have plenty of time to collect the key and hopefully find the exit. So yeah, that went a lot smoother than my first two attempts, thankfully. So it didn't take too long. Look, the ground is cracked, indicating an inactive geyser. Have your Pikmin dig here. In spite of having to fight a beady Longlegs, this floor actually wasn't too terrible. I say, as I'm very nervous about losing a Pikmin after all of that work to like a sheer grub or something. So yeah, I'm very carefully fighting all of these, just again, because I don't want to have to restart the floor after actually defeating the boss. That'd be a shame. Had a very close call there. But yeah, it would actually be very sad after everything to have to restart for that reason. Again, you can't actually defeat sheer grubs with like a throw. It's just, in my opinion, slightly unreliable, so I usually end up swarming. And when you have like numbers over like 20 to 30, it should be enough to be able to swarm it and defeat it before it can actually eat a Pikmin, even though in theory it is a little bit scarier. So yeah, outside of a few mishaps off screen, that actually went surprisingly smoothly. I think we have time for one more. But actually, we have several really long floors coming up, so let's actually jump ahead to the Cavernous Abyss. Alright, we have another one floor area here. We have a lot of fire. We have these little like pipe areas that I'm very nervous about because the last time we saw them was in the shower room, and they really like hiding the weevils in these. So let's carefully head through here, destroy all the fire, to clear a path, and then it looks like there's another arena over here. I'm going to quickly scope out this area, make sure, and we have a raging Longlegs now, that we have to fight with red Pikmin, which is an interesting combo. So at least we do have a spicy spray, and in some ways I actually feel like this won't be too terrible, partly just because red Pikmin are faster than purple Pikmin, so even though they're leaves, they will be able to get out of danger more efficiently. So that's better. I just happened to pick these two stages back to back, which is slightly unfortunate for the sake of variety. Also, this fight is very time consuming, so it's also very easy, in my opinion, to mess up just because of stress from like, oh, you have a time limit and have to fight this enemy that's like very tanky. So yeah, even though the timer is ticking down, you definitely still want to take your time and not take too many risks here. I could actually be playing this, or going through this fight a lot more aggressively than I am, but again, I am trying to be a little bit cautious, which might be a mistake, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's use the other spicy spray as it stops, and then as soon as it starts up again, we'll start tossing Pikmin. The best time is actually not too fast, because if you can actually latch Pikmin on before it starts like shaking them off, that's definitely better. Because then it actually will play out the entire walk cycle without having to, without like shaking off Pikmin right away. So that's something I'm kind of just now picking up on. You actually want to wait until it starts actually walking, and then yeah, wait and let its like walk cycle start a little bit, so you have the full cycle to actually deal damage. Overall, that actually went surprisingly well. Again, red Pikmin are actually pretty good for that fight because they can escape a lot more smoothly than purple Pikmin. Look, the ground is cracked, indicating an inactive geyser. Have your Pikmin dig here. Alright, so that must be on the other side of this slightly treacherous area. Luckily, it's only the poisoned weevils, none of the volatile kind. I'm sure we'll see them later. But again, it is actually kind of fun in a weird sort of way that, unlike the base game, I genuinely don't remember, like, I would say, like, a good 80% of the challenges. So a lot of these are the first time I've played these in probably like a decade, so it is actually refreshing in that way, not knowing what's about to happen. I'm really glad that was a much smoother Longlegs fight compared to the previous one. Alright, so we'll continue working on row 3 next time, and maybe, if we have time, because these are very long floors, we'll also possibly start on row 4. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Pikmin 2.